Hi and welcome to another edition of OnsideSA. The new year is upon us. Budge, all things good?
Yeah, no complaints, Paul. By the last one standing with all the postponements, but other than that, Paul, yeah, can't complain.
All good, right. And Stevie, I know, is standing by. Let's just talk about last one standing. Basically, we still haven't got to week 7 because, as you mentioned, 39 entries left, of which the tote favourites are Rion de Jager and Des Ferry.
Rion's got 3, Des 2. Paul, what's interesting, everybody else has only got 1 pick, so it makes it difficult. And the guys have done well, the 2 guys we just mentioned. But next weekend as we hopefully restart, Paul.
Yeah,
it's becoming a nightmare. Yeah.
Right, we've got League Cup final to talk about. A wonderful game last night. Should we get the pundit in?
Yeah, let's get Steve in. Yeah.
Steve, you're about?
I'm about. Good morning.
Morning, Stevie.
Morning, Steve.
We're going to start off, Steve, with Chelsea 2, Tottenham 0. Obviously, I don't miss a moment of a Spurs game, and they were so superior to us first half. Second half, I don't think that we had 2 shots on target. I think they had 1. So, but they were far superior.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was from the first minute they were up against it, Tottenham. And in fact, the fact that they got away with only losing 2-0, I guess they're still in the game, but they'll have to play a lot better than that. Certainly the way they defended in the first half.
Yeah, that's right. I was saying to Budge, we can't have a right back playing on the left-hand side. It just doesn't work. It took him off at half-time. He gets the ball, he comes back in. It just shows that there needs a bit of a revamp somewhere.
Yeah, well, they pressed. Chelsea, had worked out how to play against Tottenham's defence, and Tottenham obviously were trying to play it out slowly from the back, and they got caught out with that first goal. And it's almost they didn't seem to learn. I mean, they were second best to almost every ball in the first half.
They gave them so much space. Everyone just played inside, down the line, back, inside. And we played our 2 central midfield, holding midfielders too deep, right deep. They had room to play all the time. And it just didn't work, So anyway, they played better second half, but we've got a mountain to climb, Budge?
Mountain to climb, yeah. Difficult task. Steve, the Liverpool situation, the game is off tonight, Liverpool-Arsenal. The first leg will be at Anfield. Is the second leg the week after?
The second leg is the week after, so there is a gap in the fixture list to fit that in. But obviously, if there was a problem next week, then they're starting to struggle. So because the next round, the final is not until the end of February, they have time to fit it in. If the next round was in a couple of weeks and they couldn't, then the team that called it off would have to forfeit. But I don't think that will happen.
Yeah. Talking about forfeits, Man United situation against Wolves, highly embarrassing. What do you think is going on? When I read the newspaper, the guy's unhappy, or the player's unhappy with Rangnick. What's the latest, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be a bit of player unrest. I mean, it was an appointment that nobody saw coming. He's not a name that is particularly well known here. I'm sure most of the players didn't know him, and it appears that they're not happy with his training methods or his tactics. And they were certainly found wanting against Wolves. It was a really lacklustre display.
Yeah, I just think tactically wise, I can't say he's clueless because he sounds like one of these professors. But his tactical changes, taking Greenwood off the other night was absolute embarrassment. I know he speaks well. I think he's a con man. I know some of my English mates don't agree. Some do. I don't like what I see. Look at all your other top managers. When the game gets tough, they're on the touchline screaming and shouting. He just sits there and lets Darren Fletcher go down now. Not happy. The fans, I think there'll be a revolt soon. But
the players got to have some
players got to stand up. You can't play.
You've got obviously a lot of experienced players there, and the players like Ronaldo and Cavani. I mean, they worked under some big coaches. They know what training should be like and various things. And obviously if they're not happy, then there's obviously things going wrong there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Steve, January signings. I saw Kieran Trippier. Has that gone through?
Yeah, it looks like if it hasn't yet, it will do today. That's obviously pretty much a done deal. The bottom line is he wanted to come back to the UK. There's an offer on the table. They're prepared to meet his wage demands. I think there's they're obviously to attract bigger names like him. They're not putting in relegation clauses, so he's got nothing to lose really. It's an opportunity to get back in to play, and I think that they'll sign one or two more without doubt.
Yeah, I see Philip Coutinho's name's been mentioned to come back. I saw a stat, he's on £380,000 a week. No wonder nobody wants him.
No one can afford him.
Nobody's going to pay that here. And in fact, Barcelona want him off their wage bill. There's no question. He's been a real disappointment since he left. Liverpool saw them coming. I mean, they got a fantastic deal. And at the time, people were, worried that, but look at the players that Liverpool's replaced him with. So, I think if anyone takes him, might be on loan, or certainly would be
lucky to get a third of that
fee and much reduced wage bill.
Yeah, another player that had a great season. Luis Suarez made him, in my opinion. Went to Barcelona to play with Messi, never up to it. He's got all the money, but I think his career's ruined. And I saw this morning reading that Barcelona cannot play Ferran Torres, a new Man City signing, until they get their financial fair play record sorted out. So they've got to get rid of Coutinho before Torres can play.
Yeah, well, in that case, they're going to be desperate to offload him.
Yeah.
And they're going to take a huge hit on the transfer. I mean, they paid well over 100 million for him, and we're not going to get a fraction of that.
Yeah, they spent 400 million euros on Griezmann, Dembele, and Coutinho. That was the 200 they got from selling Neymar. So how badly have they done in the transfer market? No wonder they cashed
They've offered, I think, Dembele a new contract.
Yeah.
So he's obviously the one they want to keep.
Yeah, well, I think, okay. Steve, as far as the FA Cup go and the postponements, are there any rules or guidelines that have come out?
Yeah, I mean, as things stand, the same rules apply as the EFL. If a team can put up 14 fit professionals, including a goalkeeper, they should play. Now, it is difficult to police, because if a club says we've got COVID, we've got injuries, we can't field 14. It's very difficult for the FA to start checking up on them. Unless it's obvious that that's not the case. If a club closes their training ground, then I guess that says that COVID is widespread. So at this moment in time, I'm not aware of any games that have been postponed. I imagine that Liverpool's game at Shrewsbury on Sunday may be in doubt if the training ground is still shut. But obviously at this moment in time, I've not heard of any postponements. So it would be great if they all take place, but I suspect that at the last minute there may be one or two off.
All right.
Send down the 16 team. Beat Shrewsbury.
You're right. They should beat Shrewsbury with a youth team, with all due respect to the Shrews. Steve, you're going to pull up the betting odds for the weekend. Obviously, you got the slip. Saturday, there's a lot of teams that are under severe pressure, one of them being Burnley. How do you see them going against FA Cup third round against?
Sorry, Steve.
I think that teams like Burnley should put out a strong team. I mean, they've only won once this season in the league. You'd think that they'd want to get back into winning ways, put out a strong team, win the game, and then it breeds a bit of confidence. The danger is that, as we've seen in prior seasons, is that clubs who are near the top of a league or at the bottom are going to rotate. And you'd think that they would play a strong team, and the worry is that their opponents will rotate. And you end up with two weaker teams.
Yeah.
But I think Burnley should still start as favourites, though.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm just saying some of these FA Cup matches are very strong in the sense of walkovers, in my opinion.
It should be.
But there's some good ones.
Yeah. Well, we've obviously selected the 15 games. We've left out the Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham against Morecambe. So, Steve, would you take 6-10 Burnley to beat Huddersfield? Yeah,
I think so. Especially as these are one-off games now. So there's no replays. It's extra time and penalties if need be.
Do they do extra time, Steve?
Teams have got to get it done, and I think Burnley will want to get a win under their belt, because they missed 3 weeks. They've come back with 2 defeats. I think they need for their confidence.
Yeah, I think they'll win easier. They'll saw the 6-10s in our bets, 15-10 to win by more than one. And also, Steve, they haven't got a midweek game, so there's no reason to rest everybody. And Huddersfield, as you say, you never know. They're going well in the Championship, whether they'll rotate as well. Now, Steve, I'm going to have a bet that Derby County don't get relegated this year. I watched them in midweek. I know they lost 21. They came back. I thought they outplayed Reading for most parts. Coventry have lost the plot, especially in the last 8 games. They've only won 1. Can you see an upset in this game?
There's a possibility. The only thing is Derby have got a relatively small squad.
Yeah.
And as you say, the league is their priority. They still have half a chance. And whether or not Wayne Rooney wants to risk his key players in the cup.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the only thing, whereas they might end up playing a slightly weaker team because, not to risk, they're few. They've got some older players. So they might not want to risk them, but we'll see. They're certainly giving it a go, though, to be fair to them. And I think, Coventry have certainly, the wheels have come off for them, and they're not looking a threat at all at the moment. So I think that could go either way, and it really, to me, will depend on what sort of team Derby put out.
All right. Now, depending on what team your boys Fulham haven't won in the last 5, Steve.
Fulham, the stuttering Fulham.
This is your chance.
We've got most of the squad available. I think that he might rest 1 or 2, but I think he should put a strong team out. We do play midweek. We've got 2 rearranged games midweek next week and the week after. So I'm pretty sure that he will rotate, but we should put out a strong side, and I'd be disappointed to lose that.
Yeah, I've watched Bristol City the last couple of games they've been on. They have a go, that team. Yeah, they're unlucky to lose at QPR, at home at QPR. Yeah, they've got a result at midweek. It won't be easy, but like you say, Fulham are the better team.
Yeah, they better stop stuttering, Steve. Stop stuttering.
Yeah, you can't come and watch Premiership games at the Cottage, Steve, if you don't start getting results.
Get some results, Stevie.
Well, as I say, we play at Reading next week in a rearranged game, and at home to Birmingham the week after. Okay. So we're playing sort of every weekend and midweek for the next few weeks.
Okay. One of the games, Steve, Millwall versus Crystal Palace, it could be an upset. Now, Crystal Palace have lost 4 players to the AFCON, Sahar being one of them. Millwall hard to beat at the Den. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think Millwall will, again, you'd like to see them put out a strong side. And if they do, I think they'll give Palace a good game. Palace, again, they might rest 1 or 2. And that is the sort of game. Millwall have got a good pedigree in the FA Cup in recent seasons.
Yes.
I think, being a London derby, I think they'll put out a strong side. And if there was to be an upset, this could be one of them.
Okay, now Leicester-Watford, Steve. I watched Watford against Spurs. It was terrible. I've never seen a team park the bus at home. Even Mourinho didn't do that against the better teams. I'm sure your brother was throwing that. Surely he's got to have a go at Leicester, who've lost a lot of players to the AFCON.
Yeah, you'd think so, but then Leicester have still got a relatively decent squad. I think they will rest a few, but they've still got enough, I think, Leicester to win that game.
Okay. Should be too strong. On to our second page, we've got West Brom against Brighton. Now, the way Brighton have played the last couple of weeks, surely 13-10 looks a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, Brighton have played really well recently. They're looking really playing some attractive football. Again, they might rest 1 or 2, but they've got a decent squad, and I think they will be too strong for West Brom. And I think West Brom, because of the position they're in, I think that they may well rotate and might rest a few, and I think Brighton will win that. Yeah,
only Basuma sees left to go to the AFCON, but other than that, they'll have...
Where's Percy Tau?
Percy Tau's at Al Ahly winning the CAF Super Cup. Now, this is my upset of the week. Wigan Athletic against Blackburn. I think Blackburn will rest players because of the situation they're in. Wigan are going well in League One. It's a Lancashire derby. How do you see it?
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. I think that Blackburn will wrap Ben Brereton, Diaz in cotton wool and 1 or 2 others. And I think Wigan at home, again, got a good pedigree in the Cup. I think they'll have a go. It's the Lancashire derby. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Wigan upset them.
Yeah, well,
Blackburn are up second in the Championship.
Yeah, they're going well. They cost us last week. But Wigan beat Man City in the Cup. I had a mate who went to the game. He was drunk with a week with his T-shirt on. And he came back with school teacher in Durban. Sadly, they got relegated that year under Roberto Martinez. Yeah. Now, Hull City play Everton. Surely, Rafa's under pressure and he's got to play his best team here.
I agree. I think Everton have got to play a strong side. They've got no form at all. I think he's going to want to get a win. I think it would be a mistake for him to rest all his players because they need some confidence. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin has just come back. I think he should play a strong team, and I think they'll get a result there.
Yeah, I think so too. They're one of my best bets. 5-2 to win more than 1. I think they're certainties. Now, Swansea City, haven't played in a while against Southampton, who normally play a strong side. Too good, the Saints?
Oh, and the Saints.
I think Southampton will be too strong. I think whatever team they put out, I think they'll be too strong for Swansea.
Yeah. I see they've been taken over, Steve. Do you know much about the new owners?
No. So 80% of the club has been bought out by a Serbian media mogul and his consortium. So it remains to be seen what sort of funding that they might be putting in place to sort of help sort of rebuild the club a bit more.
Yeah, I like that Hassan Hüttl. He doesn't make excuses. He works his players hard. I think he's due.
I think he's a good guy.
Yeah, if ever there's somebody to replace Rafa, it looks like at Everton, he would be my suggestion. Not that it would happen, but I really like him. Now, Norwich City, who can't buy a win, they do play in midweek. I think it's against West Ham. How do you see them going against Charlton?
Yeah, I mean, I think they should be too strong. I mean, Charlton... at home will give them a good game. You'd like to think Charlton will play their strongest side. Norwich may rest a few, but you'd still think as Premier League squad would be a little bit too strong for a League One side. So I think it'll be close, but I think Norwich will just edge it.
Yeah, if Norwich can't be the team, it's 13th in League One. I don't know what was going on, but there again, it is the FA Cup. Steve, the team who was superb on Monday, Wolves outplayed Man United. Surely they've got to beat Sheffield United.
Yeah, I would think so. I think Sheffield will put out a reasonable side, but I think Wolves, even if he rotates a few, I think he's got a strong squad, and the way they're playing, I'd be very surprised if they don't win that.
I'm going to have a few rand on Wolves to win the cup. I saw 33 to 1.
To win the cup?
To win the cup. Have a look at it. They're just as good as Man United. They've only got Liverpool, Man City to beat, in my opinion. The rest, they can beat them if they play their best team. So I think 7 to 10 is a certainty.
Okay.
Now, Cardiff against my Preston boys. I've got to make the stat. Cardiff's last 9 home games, they've lost 8. My boys Preston on a roll. Won 3 of the last 5. 22 to 10 looks a big price.
Win the other day at Stoke to come back and win. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Again, if Preston put out a strong side, there's no reason why they can't get a result at Cardiff. Yeah. But again, as you say, Cardiff have lost 8 of their 9 at home. They don't want to lose enough. They might themselves.
Yeah, and they beat us. Their managers, it's Steve Morrison. His first game was at Preston. They beat us 2-1. So hopefully our guys will go there looking for revenge. Now, West Ham against Leeds is a cracker. This is my upset. I fancy Leeds. I like what I saw against Burnley. I have a funny feeling that David Moyes is going to rest a few players. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he will, like he did even in Europe. He sort of rested 1 or 2. But West Ham has still got a strong squad and a strong side, and I think at home, I think they will be hard to beat. But it's the sort of game that could go to extra time and penalties. Yeah,
I think there'll be plenty of goals in this game. The way Leeds play, can't defend. But I was really impressed. They looked a lot better against Burnley, even though Burnley is struggling. I was impressed with them. Now, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal having their game postponed tonight. They have lost 1 or 2 players to the AFCON. Do you think he's going to play a strong team knowing he's got the first leg at Anfield? I think it's on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think he might. But again, he's got a decent squad. I think he could rest 1 or 2 and bring in players like Emile Smith-Rowe has not been starting in the league. He could certainly start him. There are players, and I think that they will probably be a little bit too strong for Forest. But again, if Forest put out their stronger side, it would be a good game. I remember a few seasons ago, Forest shocked Arsenal and beat them 4-2 at the City Ground in the Cup. So I think it will be a close game, but I'd be surprised if Arsenal don't just squeak through.
Arsenal are the youngest squad in the league, longest team in the league, youngest,
24. A lot of good young players there
24,
too. And their first team regulars. Now, Man United hosting Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa. I can remember being at Old Trafford when Gerrard got sent off in 10 minutes, went over the top. How do you see that one going?
Well, I think it's going to depend on whether he plays a strong side or not. I mean, look, if he doesn't play a strong side and Villa do, you fancy Villa the way that United have played recently. So, I think the fans are going to demand they bounce back and put out a strong side. And try and find a bit more fluidity. So, but again, in the cup, they haven't been. I mean, they were poor against West Ham. They went out in the League Cup. Anything can happen, but I think the fans are going to demand a better performance.
Yeah. One thing about Gerrard, he's going to get a nice welcome at Old Trafford, but he's going to want to go there and have a go. That's the only thing they can win this year is the FA Cup. And why go there looking for to get beat, especially the following Monday? Man United play Aston Villa at Villa Park in the league.
Yeah.
So how do you see that there? 5-1's a big price, Steve.
Going to be a bit of rotation on both sides, and I think whoever puts out the stronger side and more determined will win it.
Yeah, I think United have to play their best team. If they get knocked out at Old Trafford, it'll be, I'd hate to see the rafters getting pulled down. Now, Steve, it's pressure time again. I need your best bet and value bet, please.
I'm going to go with my best bet. I want to go for Everton. Yeah. I think that Benitez is under a lot of pressure. I think he's going to need to play a strong side, and I think they'll be too strong.
I'm with you, Steve.
And my value bet, I'm actually going to go for Wigan. I think that I've just got a feeling there's going to be an upset against a team in a high division. I think Blackburn are going to prioritise the league, and I think Wigan might just upset them.
Yeah, I'm total agreement. My best bet, Steve, is Southampton. I just love what the manager, he plays his best team in the value bet, 19-10 Wigan. Boys, I think that's great value.
Boys, take 7-2 the double, Brighton and Everton.
Brighton, Everton.
7-2 the double.
7-2. All right, Paul. Well, hopefully we can make a few rand. But Steve, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Steve. Get back to the cricket.
Get back to the cricket, yeah.
No, I dread to see.
All right, Stevie. All the best.
Speak soon.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Right, but we've got La Liga fixtures.
Yeah, Paul, has come back. One thing about the Spanish FA, they've told them you've got 13 players and a goalkeeper, you're going ahead with the fixtures.
Okay, so let's go through them, Budge.
Yeah, kick off.
You better help me with a few of these.
Paul, I watched last week because it was the only league other than the Premiership that was going on. But the first team is Levante. They play Mallorca. Now, Levante have played 19 league games, Paul. How many do you think they've won?
11.
None. Yet they're 12-10 favourites. One thing about them, there's goals every time they play. Home and away, 9.5-10, both teams to score. Mallorca have actually done quite well lately. But, Paul, both teams to score, same league, in the main league. 9.5-10, both teams to score. I can't back Levante. I watched them go 2-0 up ahead against Valencia. The players of Coca, who got beat 4-2. Can't take 12-10, both teams to score there, guys. Now, Real Sociedad were terrible last week. I thought they'd get a result at Alaves. They drew 1-1. Celta Vigo cost us our Spanish bet. They went to Real Betis, who were on form, and they won 2-0. They got beat last night in the Cup by skunk team Celta Vigo. I don't see Real Sociedad getting beat, Paul. That's David Silva's team. He's there now. So playing well.
Playing for them?
He's playing for them,
He's still playing, that brilliant player.
Right, a lot of good youngsters. Jan Azada was a Man United, the Belgium left-footed player. They've got some good players. So win and draw for me, Real Sociedad. Now, Barcelona, they squeaked in last time. They won 1-0 in the league. Struggling for players. Now, Granada have won their last 3 at home, taking 7-10. I watched them, I think it was Mallorca. They won 1-0 last Sunday. It was a terrible game. But 7-10 looks a good price, Paul, but I wouldn't be taking it. Okay. The draw in Barcelona and exotics.
Who's Barcelona's best player now? Should have picked one.
Well, Frankie de Jong's there. I like that young winger, young African winger.
Yes.
Outstanding. He has been injured.
Good player.
Superb player. But Memphis has been their best player this week. Memphis Depay.
I'm going to Memphis.
Right.
All right.
Real Madrid, Paul. I got clever last week. I watched it in play. Took 15-10. They got beat by Getafe. Shouldn't have got beat, but didn't really deserve to win. They deserved a draw. They've got to beat Valencia. Valencia, funny team, but away from home they struggle, and especially after losing their first game, Real Madrid should cave walk it, Paul. 12-10 to win by more than one. But
Rayo
Vallecano, Paul, best home record in the league. 9 home games, they've won 8 and drawn 1. Now, Real Betis were garbage last week. Pellegrini, the guy that was at Man City, he's their manager. They've done well. They're in Europe. They're 3rd. Paul, this is my value bet in the Liga. We've gone for Rayo Vallecano. My man Radamel Falcao
16-10,
is up front. He was playing last night in the Cup. They squeaked through. I like Rayo Vallecano at home.
Okay.
Second page. Sevilla, Paul. I was going to make them good things, but Getafe are filled with Uruguayans. Geez, that panel beat. If ever there's one thing you take in this game, it's over 4.5 bookings. It was even money. Sevilla have lost 2 players to the AFCON. I think they play for Morocco. Good team, Paul. It should be Sevilla, but I'd throw the draw into exotics. If they hadn't lost the 2 strikers, I'd be all over them, but they have, so I'd be a little bit concerned. Alaves got a result. They drew 1-1. I like Athletic Bilbao. That's the only team that play and sign players from their own province.
That's right.
That's Matthew Letizia. They honoured him years ago.
Did they?
Yeah, that's because the same colours and so on. But I fancy them, Paul. Athletic Bilbao. I don't see them losing.
From the Basque region or something.
Yeah, the Basque. Yeah, there's only some players from that. So I don't see them losing. But 13 to 10. Not a bad bet, but exotics, Paul. I'd go 2 and 3. Osasuna haven't won in 10 games, but Cadiz are struggling. Wouldn't take 7 to 10, but win and draw Osasuna. Now, the next game should be a cracker, Paul. Two good teams. Villarreal, good, hard to beat at home. And Atletico Madrid, away from home, they've lost their last 3. They did beat Rayo Vallecano at home, but Trippier is
Atletico Madrid?
They're struggling, Paul. But,
wow, but they're 4th, eh?
They're 4th, yeah. They're way behind. They're behind, Real Madrid are well clear.
Yeah.
But we went even money, both teams to score.
Who's in charge of Real Madrid now?
That's the same guy, Simeone. 10 years he's been there. I don't see
them losing. And who's in Real Madrid?
Real Madrid is Ancelotti.
Doing well, eh?
No, top manager, Paul. Yeah. Players love him, respectful.
Yeah.
Get everybody going. So, Paul, that's drawn Atletico Madrid. And the last game is my bet of the weekend. Espanyol, good things, Paul. They beat Valencia 2-1 away. I watched a little bit of it. Elche can't buy a win, especially away from home. 9 to 10. Monday night. Get out.
Get out. Okay, give us your soccer 6.
Yeah, Paul, on to our... Yeah, we haven't got the soccer 13. The Swedes didn't send it yesterday. Soccer 6, I win. Burnley win and draw at home against Huddersfield. I've gone the field in the Millwall Crystal Palace fixture. I've gone Leicester and to avoid defeat at home against Watford. We had to throw another field in, so I'm going the field looking for the upset, West Brom and Brighton, and ending up with 2 bankers. Everton to beat Hull City and Southampton to beat Swansea, 2-1-6. On to the Pumalela Soccer 6, I'm going Fulham to avoid defeat at Bristol City. I'm bankering Burnley to be too good at home for Huddersfield Town. I'm going Coventry City, win and draw at home against Derby. Signing with another home team, Hapoel Haifa, to avoid defeat at home against Hapoel Tel Aviv. I don't see Bayer Leverkusen losing at home to Union Berlin or RB Leipzig at home to Mainz. 192 is our suggestion. On to the Gold Circle Soccer 10. I'm going Burnley, win and draw at home against Huddersfield.
You're going with Burnley,
I don't see Fulham losing at home to Bristol, losing away, to Bristol City. I'm going Crystal Palace, win and draw at Millwall. Leicester City, win and draw at home against Watford. Going Brighton and Hove Albion, win and draw at West Brom. Onto the second page, I'm going Real Sociedad, win and draw at Celta Vigo. I'm throwing the draw in with Barcelona at Granada and ending up with 3 bankers. Everton to beat Hull City, Southampton to beat Swansea City, and Valencia to beat Real Madrid, 256.
Right, Budge, my page.
Yeah, on to the Budgies bets. Hopefully none of these games get postponed. It's been a nightmare the last...
What happens? They just take that part out of the bet?
Well, Paul, I've been altering them, Paul. What can you do?
Yeah,
so if you do take the bet, it's from a quartet it becomes a double or a treble or a single. Okay. It's terrible, Paul. It's just, especially last minute. I'm going Burnley to beat Huddersfield. I'm going Everton to beat Hull City, Southampton to beat Swansea, and Wolves to beat Sheffield United. 2,100.
I like that bet, Budge. I like a bet.
I'm going for goals. Hopefully we get another explosive weekend. I'm going over 2.5 goals in the Leicester Watford, Newcastle Cambridge, Port Vale Brentford, West Ham Leeds, and Man United Villa.
Man United?
I think there has to be, Paul. 3,400 at 200.
Okay.
I think it'll be a humdinger.
Goals only. Well,
that's our team goals, Paul. We've actually done not bad with this. I'm going all these 4 teams to score over 1.5 goals. I'm going Everton, Leeds United at West Ham. That's the lurker. That was a nice price. Newcastle and Southampton. 3,600 to 200.
Okay.
Our both teams to score sides are Coventry Derby, Millwall Crystal Palace, Wigan Blackburn, and Man United Villa. 2,200 to 200. Okay. Our Spanish quartet, I'm going Espanyol to beat Elche. I'm chancing Rayo Vallecano to beat Real Betis. And both teams to score in the Levante Mallorca, Villarreal Atletico Madrid clash. 3,000 to 200.
Okay.
And our Collis King 6 or Nexa. I had included Liverpool, but the game may be postponed, so I've altered the one team. I'm going Man City to beat Swindon, Everton to beat Hull City, Newcastle to beat Cambridge United, Southampton to beat Swansea City, Wolves to beat Sheffield United, and Espanyol to beat Elche, 3,300 to 200.
Okie dokie, that's good. Rob's just pulling down on me. It must be catching. Yeah, no, very pleased that after this weekend, we go straight back
yeah,
into
straight
our last
back,
one
Paul.
standing.
So hopefully by then all the COVID situations has been sorted out. They're going to be under pressure, Paul. You can't keep fitting games in.
Yeah, they can't. Even if they take crowds away, they've got to fulfill these fixtures. But I've just come back. The stands are full.
Yeah.
Very
Paul,
good.
When you went into White Hart Lane, did you get checked or tested? Or?
Yes, not tested. You got to
produce your vaccine.
You have to produce your vaccine. You've got to have a mask. Got to have your 2 vaccines. You've got to have PCR. There's when you go into Spurs, there's journalists and press entrance, and there's the public. And I saw Michael Dawson. Remember the centre half?
He was on last night.
Yeah, he was there at the game, and they were going through all of his stuff. No, let's see that, please. And I saw they don't. No one just gets.
No, Paul can't afford to.
It's very, very organised, and no mask when the game's on. You know, you sit in the stands and that, but very organised bunch.
Oh, it's good. It's got to be.
Yeah, great atmosphere. Big crowds singing. And, yeah, a lot of fun.
And you're winning a few games.
Yeah, we were. But until next time, stay on side.